someone who's already currently fighting, I would say, start to see yourself as a business. Like, you've got a skill,
brand,
you've got a
build a
talent.
brand.
Yeah, start to see yourself as a business, whether that be, you know, how you brand yourself or just how you present yourself. For me to have fought on Muay Thai Grand Prix or Royal Combat League or Bloodline, I would have had to gone through the interclub route. So it's like you can't disregard one for the other. So if the only reason why these shows allowed me to fight on the shows is because I was given opportunity on other shows to perfect my skills. So
right, yeah, man. What's good, people? So today we got the creator of Sunchai TV, a channel that celebrates the talent from the world of Muay Thai and kickboxing. The channel helps raise awareness from up-and-coming fighters and more established fighters within the ring. And Tayo is also and also a Muay Thai fighter fighting at a Fight Soul gym. Once was a novice and now killing the game. And I hear my man's got a big love for pistachio ice cream. So without further ado, what's good, bro?
yeah, thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah, man. What's happening? So obviously you kitted out in Sunshine.
Promo run, so it's perfect opportunity.
Let's kick off with that. So
wear it.
let's talk to us about that. What inspired you to start creating the content for that stuff?
So that happened. So when I started fighting, originally I started Muay Thai when I was 29. So at the time I was, no prior experience in any kind of boxing or any kind of martial arts. So when I did start, I knew I started late because most people start in their early teens.
Yeah,
or
they do.
Even when they're kids, they start in their juniors, work their way up. So
I wish I did, I wish I'd have started from a youth.
Yeah, me too. I wish I started when I was younger.
But then also it's like at the time it wasn't big. So I grew up in Hackney. At the time, football, basketball was the main sport. So a few people did kickboxing, but it wasn't as popular as it is today. So you kind of fell into, if you played sports, you fell into one or two brackets. Either did basketball or you did football. So fast forward, so I discovered the sport late. So I knew I didn't really have a lot of time to gain, I guess, popularity or get enough fights in for people to be aware of who I am. So I thought, okay, I need to make a name as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So similar to like a up and coming artist, it's okay. How do I get noticed? So you see it with rappers like 50 Cent, or even Rick Ross. They take on the name of a popular, whoever in the neighborhood has got a popular name already. They take that name on, and through there, people just the association. You try and build a buzz because people are already familiar with the name. Try and build a buzz. So at the time when I started training, like I said, I started when I was 29. This was back in 2012. So I knew already. Okay, once I decided I was going to start fighting, I thought, okay, I need to kind of come up with a name. So on YouTube, just watching videos as usual, sort of going into a wormhole of watching fights after fights after fights. And then all of a sudden, I saw this Thai fighter called Sunchai.
Yeah, straight up.
And he did this cartwheel kick, and I thought, hold on, like, what's that? Rewind it on YouTube. He did it again, and I was trying to get in my head. I was trying to get my head around what on earth was that. Watched more highlight videos and just saw he kept doing it, and so I thought, okay, I'm gonna learn how to do that move, and that's gonna be sort of how I'm gonna kind of at least separate myself from other fighters. So I learned how to do the move. Fast forward, went to sparring one day, started doing it, and then just kept doing it time and time again.
Did it always land when you did it?
Funny enough, the first time I did it, it landed, and the guy that did it on, he just looked at me, was like, "What was that?
What are you doing, bro?"
Yeah, it was like, 'cause when you do it, it looks like you're falling on, like you're basically doing a cartwheel kick standing up. So when I did it, initially he just stopped and thought, "Oh, he fell on the floor," and then when he got kicked in the face. It's sort of like, you see the kung fu films where two guys having a standoff, and then one guy, does a move, and then he kind of looks at him and starts laughing, and then you just see a trickle of blood, and he's like, "Do I get slapped or get cut? Like how on earth did you do that?" So anyway, fast forward, started doing it in training, and then one day I was sparring with my coach, Jose, and I caught him with it, and then he was like, "Yeah, that's not supposed to happen," sort of thing. And then one day I came to the gym, and he just said, he was like, "Yeah, Sunshine, grab the pads over there." And then the name just kind of stuck.
Oh yeah, like that, yeah.
Yeah, just like that. I just walked in one day, and he just said Sunshine, and it just kind of stuck from there. So I just thought, all right, just stuck with it. And then prior to this, like outside of this, I used to run a cleaning business. So, you run a company first, and you come up with a name.
Yeah.
You get a logo designed, you get a website. Sort of like just the 1, 2, 3 steps of running a business. So once I had the name, I thought, okay, I've got a name now. And then, you know, I went to a few interclubs. I was doing it. Did it in my second C-class fight.
Oh, wow.
I pulled off with like I think it was the last round, last 10 seconds. Claps
Chucking
going
it in
off.
there,
Like now or
on the
never.
rope, and I just did it. And then everyone's like, oh, you know, everyone sort of cheered for it, sort of thing.
Worst case scenario, you're just crailing it.
Yeah. So that's how the name came about. And then I'm sure you've heard of Leapfrog Combat Sports.
Yeah.
They actually contacted me and said they wanted to do a promo video of me just to promote me as a fighter. And I said, all right, great. So I thought, all right, great opportunity to make some t-shirts. At least if I do the videos, it's a promo video, it'll look great. Yeah. It's a great marketing tool. And also if I have the t-shirts on, it kind of just, makes me look more established than if I just got on an old t-shirt or a vest. Or if I got a Nike t-shirt on or Fairtex, it looks more established, like who's this guy, it's got his name. So I did that, and then it just kind of trickled down from there, really.
Yeah, sick. So how do you go about curating the content? Do people get at you, or do you go on the hunt? So obviously, I've been looking at what you post. You posted Liam Harrison one last night, wasn't it?
Yeah. So now, in terms of Sunchai TV, I mean, prior to me deciding I was going to fight, I am actually a fight fan.
Yeah.
So when I started the sport, when I started training Muay Thai, I literally had no intention of fighting. Like I said, I started when I was 29, so I just assumed the thought of fighting is like, it's not even possible.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, my coach, I think, was ranked in the top 3. I think number 2 or 3. I don't know. So I'm looking at him like he's a professional. There's no way on earth I can get to that level.
Yeah,
it didn't even sort of enter my mind, the idea of fighting. So I thought, there's no idea. So I was happy with just training. That was my thing. I was happy with just training. So from there, I discovered a love for, you know, Muay Thai, kickboxing. I discovered kickboxing afterwards. So it was like, you know, people like Giorgio Petrosian, all these different boxers, all these different fighters. So I always had a love for combat sports. So in terms of the content I put on Sunchai TV, it was just a case of, I'll go on YouTube, I'll see a fight I like, and it was like, yeah, that fight's really good. You know, I'll make it. I mean, all the fights I put up, like you mentioned, I put up Liam Harrison. That's just me as a fighter, as a fight fan.
Appreciation.
Yeah, appreciation. I like the sport. You know, I'm not afraid to say I like this fighter or I like that fighter, whether they be in the UK or abroad. If I like a fight, I like a fight. You know, and because I'm a fight fan, I feel that if I like this fight, then I'm sure there's other fighters.
Other people would like it,
who like it as well. I can't be the only one who feels. I mean, we all know what a great fight is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you're in London or you're in Tokyo.
Yeah.
We watch a fight, we enjoy it. So that's how I create the content for the page. But what initially made me start Sunchai TV was when I started going to shows. Like I said, I started training. When I started going to shows, you know, I'd watch a lot of undercard fights, and I'll see a lot of undercard fighters who I didn't really know. I mean, I'm fresh to the sport. I don't know who's who, and I'll see a fight and I'll be like, oh, that's a really good fight. You know, I'll see it, and then you know, weeks later, the promoters will put the fight footage out. So I'd look through it again to find, because I want to rewatch that fight, and that fight wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, maybe it's just a case of it's coming out in maybe a month's time. After they get through the main card, then the undercard fights will come out next, and then the fight never came out. So I thought, okay, maybe just some lost footage. There might be a reason why it didn't come out. Went to a few more shows, and I noticed that it was slowly a trend that sort of a lot of the unknown fighters or undercard fighters sort of weren't getting as much attention as the main card fighters.
Yeah.
But then in my eyes, I just see it as a good fight is a good fight, whether it's on the main card or on the undercard.
For sure.
You should just promote what is good. So I just thought, after a while I started to notice, I was thinking, oh, you know what? Rather than complain about it, because a few years I was asking people like, yo, what's going on with that fight? I saw your fight last. Like, you know, you go to the show, you'll see fighters, and I'll be like, oh, I really liked your fight from XYZ show. Have you got the footage? And they'll be like, no, I haven't got the footage. So I thought, okay. So I was thinking, why wouldn't, like, from a business point of view, if someone has a good fight, it's worth publicising it, whether you know them or not. Because in order for them to get known, it's through you know, pushing it to the forefront. So when I noticed it wasn't being pushed out, I thought, okay, you know what I'm going to do? The fighters I think are good, I'm just going to make a highlight reel of it. And so that's when I started what's called Fight Fridays. I've been doing it every Friday for the last maybe year and a half, where, you know, I'll see a fight, I think that's a good fight. Whether you're A-class, everyone knows who you are, or you're an interclub fight, if it's a good fight, I'll do a highlight reel. And I used to just post it on Friday, every Friday.
Do people ask you, do fighters come up to you and ask you, oh, could you post my fight, please?
I've had a few people ask me, oh, you should post, you know, this fight or that fight.
What do you say to that?
No, I tell them if I've seen the fight, I'll say, yeah, I'll look into it. But it's not it's more of I don't know, there isn't an agenda behind it. It's just, if I watch the fight and I enjoy it, I'm going to put it out.
But that's a good way of looking at it, innit, as well. And that's how you put everyone on the sport who's got an interest in the sport. And you know what I mean? Been doing.
So it's not like it's not a bias thing where it's like, oh, if you're on this particular gym, I'm not going to show you, or if you're from there, it's like, no, if it's a good fight, irrespective,
you put it on there.
Yeah, I'll put it on there.
And if you see good amateurs next to people like Liam Harrison and stuff like that, you know, it's good. You know what I mean? People who are just scrolling and having a scan through, because you have a good little following.
Yeah, because I mean, in terms of sorry to interrupt. Like I said, putting the two together, because essentially everyone, if you're fighting, everyone needs some form of exposure. The level you need is different. So you say someone like a Liam Harrison, he may just want a highlight video just for his archive.
Yeah.
You know, he's been in for 20 plus years. It may just be like he just wants to look at old fights. Whereas someone who's up and coming may need it for a promo. So if you've got a fight coming up, I was talking to some people and they were saying that, when they fight abroad, promoters will ask them, "Oh, have you got any highlight reels?" And they'll be like, "Well, no, I haven't got any highlight reels of my fights." And they're like, "Oh, can you get something together and send it to us?" And not every fighter's got access to someone who can do that for them. So what you find is a lot of time is then they don't get pushed, or they don't have an outlet for, showing their fights, or what's going on in their gym, or them as a personality, or so essentially that's why I started Sunchai TV, which is ideally just to push fight content, but also give an avenue and a platform for fighters within the UK to just to show their skill and talent.
Yeah, that's sick.
So where do you think you're going to take that? So what's next for Sunchai TV?
I mean, the end goal is, you mentioned I'm starting to get a bit of a following. The end goal is to actually have a platform for where fighters have an outlet. So if you've got a fight, say for example, you've got a fight in, I don't know, we're in February at the minute, we've got a fight in April, and you want somewhere to promote that you can, I've got a fight coming up, help you sell tickets, then, you can contact Sunchai. The idea is to get to a point where I would have built a platform with attention from fight fans, whether in the UK or abroad or in Europe, that hey, check out this guy, he's really good, he's got a fight coming up. Whatever show it may be on, you can go and check it out, whether you buy a pay-per-view or if you live locally, go and watch the show in person. Because you'll find and it's a parallel between sort of Muay Thai and boxing. You'll find that with most boxers, they have an agent.
Yeah.
So the boxer is a coach and is an agent. The coach focuses on training the boxer. The agent does everything outside of that. So in terms of the promoting the fighter, so all the fight has to do is just promote. All the boxer has to do is worry about my next fight coming up, make sure I make weight, make sure I'm training every day, etc., etc. Then you have the agent who takes care of, okay, we're gonna get an interview on this platform, or we're gonna get you a commercial over here. So the two kind of marry up. But whereas in Muay Thai, we're not at a stage where we have that. So like for example, if you've got a fight coming up, other than your own personal page, there isn't any many outlets that you can go to say, hey, would you mind just promoting what I've got coming up next?
Do you think that's a problem with Muay Thai and kickboxing in the UK?
Well, I mean, you've got to look back, like I said, to when I originally started. The main sports at the time was football and basketball. So we're in the UK. Traditionally, the main sports are football, rugby, cricket.
Yeah.
To some extent. So these all get some kind of backing and funding from the government, where it be, agencies or bodies that are set up to push these through schools. You have different programs. After school football. There's an after school football club. So I feel like in the UK, I think it's getting a bit more recognised. But I think it does need a body or some kind of backing to financially say, okay, look, we're going to push Muay Thai. I think not just the physical, just actual fight, the training, but actually what benefits people can get from Muay Thai. Whether it be, because some people, not everybody wants to fight.
Some
people just want to train, get into shape. So I think those benefits also need to be included.
So talking about benefits, what has it done for you personally? So what benefits has Muay Thai, kickboxing, training in general brought to you as an individual?
I mean, for me, it's just given me, number one, just I've met new people through the sport. It's, the thing with Muay Thai is that it doesn't matter what background you're from, rich, poor. Once you put on shorts and a t-shirt, everybody's the same.
That's it, innit?
It doesn't matter. There isn't that much of a class system within the sport. You put on shorts, you put on wraps. We all wear the same wraps. Wear gloves, you put on shin pads. We all go on the mat. We all go in the ring. Everyone's the same. So in terms of what the sport has done, definitely kept. I mean, I was always in shape because I played sports, but it's definitely kept me more in shape over the years. Definitely made me more conscious of my diet, what I eat, and because obviously to fight and train, you have to be mindful of what you eat. But I think the biggest thing for me is just it's like open my eyes to a brand new sector. So I've met new people in the sport. yeah, that's the biggest. I say the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. How often do you train? What's your regime?
At the minute, I train on average 4 to 5 times a week.
Is this regardless whether you've got a fight coming up or?
Yeah, regardless of once fight season starts.
Have you got any fights coming up?
My first fight would probably be in May. A few of my guys are fighting. So a few of my teammates in the gym have got fights lined up between now and April. So I'll just be out helping them and being in the corner.
Yeah.
So my first fight will probably be end of April, early May.
Okay, so you fight from Fight Zone?
Yep, from Fight Zone London.
Fight Zone, yeah. Have you always been part of Fight Zone? Or,
I've always been at Fight Zone. Always been since I've started. I've always trained under Jose. Haven't been to any other gym. So like I said before, I literally was a complete novice. I mean, when I started, complete novice to the sport. I didn't know it existed. I knew about kickboxing because they used to show it on Eurosports. You know, sort of years ago. But in terms of Muay Thai as a sport, didn't know anything about it whatsoever. I think that because I didn't have a background in it, I think that gives me kind of like just a purist mind to it. So I'm not sort of biased in any way. It's just like I love the sport.
Yeah. So you teach as well? You teach classes?
I teach beginners.
Yeah.
I teach beginners. So back to what you're saying about the benefits of it, I guess that's like the full circle of going from a complete novice in a sport to
sharing the knowledge, bro.
To sharing the knowledge with other beginners who were in the same position that I was in, 7 years ago.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. How many fights you had altogether now in them 7 years?
Altogether, I think interclubs I've had about, I want to say 7 interclubs. Semi-professional, maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah, so you had a few, bro. Nice.
What shows have you fought on? What promotions?
So far, I fought on Raw Combat League. I fought on Muay Thai Grand Prix. Bloodline.
Yeah. Big up.
Bloodline. Yeah, definitely big up Bloodline. Fought on Bloodline. What other shows? Muay Thai Masters Academy in Tottenham. That was the first time I did Interclub. Yeah. So definitely big them up. I think because we talk about all the big shows, but I think we also need to give a shout out to the shows that put on interclubs on a regular basis.
Sure. Yeah, man.
Do you have a preference of what show you like to fight on, or no, you don't care?
No real preference. The fights.
Or dislike, or you don't particularly like to fight on a particular promotion.
No, I mean, we can get sort of
who's doing it well in regards to promotion.
Who's doing it well?
From like your more interclub stuff like Muay Thai Masters to your more MT GP stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like
I think everyone has plays a different role. So, for example, for me to have fought on Muay Thai Grand Prix or Raw Combat League or Bloodline, I would have had to gone through the interclub route. So it's like you can't disregard one for the other. So the only reason why these shows allowed me to fight on the shows because I was given opportunity on other shows to perfect my skills. So like I said, Muay Thai Masters Academy in Tottenham, that was the first time I did the interclub. Yeah. So if you take them out of the way, then I might not have ever got to your Raw Combat League or Bloodline show because where would I've learned or where would I've crafted my skills? You can train with the people in your gym, but that's you see these people on a regular basis. So there's always a bit of you don't want to go too hard or you're not going to go too light because I'm going to see you tomorrow. So yeah, I mean essentially it's a ring. End of the day, it's a ring.
You don't care what show it's on. It's a ring.
What show? Yeah, doesn't know what show it is.
Yeah. And in terms of your opponents, is there anyone out there that you would like to fight? In your what weight class are you? What weight category? Or do you
I currently fight at 63.5. I don't
stay there or?
Yeah, I'll probably stay. That's the night because of the height and that's like the perfect. Maybe 63, maybe 62. But I think in terms of the weight classes, once you go professional, it's 61.5. Yeah. 63.5. I'm definitely not fighting at 65. I don't. I naturally walk around at 68, 69. Okay. So fighting at 65. It's not gonna. It doesn't.
Is there anyone that you would like to fight that you haven't fought already, or anyone that you'd like to rematch with?
No, to be honest, like I said, I never planned to fight. So like, everything I've done up until this point is literally is like a bonus. Like I tell people all the time, if I stop fighting tomorrow, I can be happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I've got some great pictures. I've got some fight footage.
You've done it.
It's like I never really planned. This whole fighting. I mean, if you ask some of my friends if I fight, they won't believe you. They'll be like, "No, he doesn't fight. He's too calm, too laid back." So the fighting. I never planned this journey in my life. So everything I'm doing now is just almost responding. So when you mentioned about the content on my page, what originally happened was when I started putting out the content, fighters in my gym had fights coming up, so I started making videos. This is how I sort of came to sort of making highlight videos. I started making highlight videos for their upcoming fights.
Okay.
And saying, you know, like Daniela Miranda's got a fight in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'll do the video, and I started to notice that people would respond pretty well to those videos. So I made a few more. Then I thought, well, okay, if my teammates have that issue, then I'm sure there's other fighters in other gyms who have the same issue where they've got a fight coming up and they need promo stuff. So then I started just doing videos of other fighters, other gyms, and then that led on to, you know, because my thing is always like, I can do a video about Borkow and Sunchai, but there's probably another 100 other videos someone's made about Borkow or Sunchai. It doesn't benefit anyone. But if I do one about sort of Nadine's got a fight coming up, it's going to benefit you. You know, it's going to have more impact on your life, and then, not, let me say not your life, because more of an impact on you than it would be me spending the same time doing a video of you know, a well-known fighter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So do you work closely with videographers or anything like that, or do you shoot? Do you know, for instance, like, have you got an ambition to work promotions and capture the undercards?
I do have people who I can use for video. I mean, I'm probably more of just the treatment. I'll probably come up with the treatment of, this is the idea, because I think the benefit of being a fighter and doing the media side of it is that you understand
it's context, right?
Yeah, you understand how fighters feel. Like, okay, if a fighter's got a fight in 4 weeks' time, don't bother them the week before the fight for content, or 2 weeks before. That's there's no point. So the last thing they want to do is talk to someone. You know, you're cutting weight for a fight. You're not in the most social mood. You know, so you also understand little bits of what people. So even when I make the highlight videos, there might be certain things that the average Joe might not pick up. But as a fighter, I'm like, okay, he did a little trip here. Like, the average Joe might not actually pick up why he did that, but then I might make a highlight of that in the video. So I think it does give me a bit of insight information into, okay, this is how fighters are feeling, this is what they're going through. These are the questions you can ask them. You know, don't ask them, you know, how they feel about this and that, you know, a week before the fight, because all they're thinking about is, I've got a fight in a week's time. You know, I just want to focus on that. So yeah, in terms of, and this kind of goes back to what the Sunchai is, just the forefront, what's up front. The behind the scenes, there'll be, you know, a team, you know, like I don't know how to work a camera, I can't take pictures, you know, but then that's something I can hire out to someone else. Okay, look, come on board. This is the vision I got for Sunchai TV, is to literally, you know, promote UK fighters. You know, if I go down to a gym to do an interview, I've got a group of people that will come with me, take pictures, record it. I may do the interview because I know sort of the questions to ask, but in terms of the, you know, the mic setups, etc., that would be a completely different, different set of people doing that. Yeah,
nice, bro, nice. So, how is the diet and that then? You touched on that before. I know you love your ice cream, bro. Do you know what I mean?
I definitely love the ice cream.
Where's the balance at?
Well, I mean, for me, it's usually once I'm aware the fight season starts, then it's sort of.
Are you quite strict, like count calories, like?
I don't count calories. What I do is, I'm aware of what my my natural walk around weight is when I'm training. So I normally walk around about 68, 69 kg. When I'm training on a regular basis, that's the weight. You know, after Christmas, it might go up to like, you know, 72, 73, you know, might be in the 70s a bit. But no, I'm quite, you know, I try and eat clean as much as I can. Try and stay away from Haribo's a bit and the ice cream. But yeah, in terms of that, it's like, and also there's a lot of knowledge now. I mean, you mentioned about sort of, you know, my page. There's other pages on Instagram that kind of, from other fighters, that give a breakdown of, you know, what they eat and what's good and what's not and what you should avoid the week of the fight, etc. So yeah, no, I mean, I don't have a strict diet plan. You know, I like good food like everyone else. You know, but yeah, when it's fight season, then yeah, I'm a lot more strict on what I intake.
Do you eat ice cream before the fight or after the fight?
Fun enough, with the ice cream, I usually, the funny story of the ice cream was, what I used to do is, after every weigh-in, I'd always have like the same, most fighters have a routine that they always stick to. It really changes.
Yeah.
So what I do is, I'll go to the weigh-in, I'll weigh in, I usually have like a litre of water or coconut water after the weigh-in, go to my favourite Turkish shop, get a massive platter, you know, get a platter for two, have it all to myself. So what I do is, I'll get a platter.
But can you really eat it though? Like, you see these.
No, you never eat it. I mean, but this is part of the learning of. So you think like, oh, after I weigh in, you know, I'm gonna go and eat, and then you have 2 bites or something,
and you're full.
Then you want to sleep.
Belly's burst shrunk.
Yeah, but then that's part of the learning curve that you learn that, you know, after a while, you know, your belly, it's not gonna eat as much as it was when you were, you know. So I'd get a platter. So what I used to do was get a platter, you know, have a bit of chicken, you know, have something to eat. I'd have half a tub of ice cream, and then I'll go to sleep. Like you think, if you have a few and then you've had enough, I'll go to sleep, and then I'll wake up, have the rest of the platter and the rest of the ice cream. And I used to tell people like, yeah, I just had ice cream after my weigh. And for people, oh no, you don't really do. And I'm like, no, I genuinely do just have ice cream. And then I think what happened was one day someone just recommended, I put it up on my story. Someone said, oh, you should try a particular flavour of ice cream. So, you know, I went to my local store, it wasn't in stock. I said to them, look, I went, it wasn't in stock. Went in again another day and I took a video to say that, you know, it wasn't there. And then just from there, people just recommended different flavours. So sort of long story short, I just ended up making up a sort of a leaderboard of, you know, my favourite ice creams. I just rated them out of 5. And that's kind of, you know, how it came in. But like, I'll be honest now, I don't eat ice cream after my weigh-in. I'll be honest, I don't do that now.
That's good.
Yeah, I definitely don't do it now. But that was, you know, just something I just did. But, you know, stuff you learn in the sport. I mean, as much as it's a serious sport, it's like, you know, you meet people, you know, you have a laugh.
It's definitely good to have that balance in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I think also as well, a big thing is, and this is back to what you were saying before about one of the problems with Muay Thai, is I feel that fighters don't get a chance. Like a podcast like this is great because I feel like fighters don't get the opportunity to show their personality.
Yeah.
So what usually happens is that, you know, you've got a fight coming up, I buy a ticket, you know, I'm in the crowd, I hear your walkout music, you walk out, you go into the ring, you fight, you exit the stage, and that's it. And then, you know, a few months later, you do the same thing again. So I don't actually know anything about you as a person. All I know is that you fight, and that's it. You know, I don't know whether, do you ever love for trainers? Do you love jewellery? You know, do you like flowers? Do you like, you know, I don't know anything about your personality. I just know that you're fighting. So it doesn't separate you from the next fighter, other than your skills and ability to fight. I think there's a disconnect, so I don't feel like I don't know. Whereas if I, for example, we're talking and you're a fighter and I discover you like, I don't know, you know,
food.
Food. Or say you're a die-hard Prince fan, and I like Prince as well. Automatically, I'm going to connect with you. It's like, we've got a love for Prince together. So now you as a fighter now, I'm more engaged in what you're doing now because I'm like, I like her as a fighter, and also actually we've got the same choice of music that we like. So I feel like podcasts like this give, you know, fighters opportunity to actually express themselves. I feel that's another thing that's missing, where fighters, I mean, we're fighters, like, you know, you're, you know, a star essentially, but I don't think they're not given the opportunity to, similar to what I said before about boxers, where they've got an agent. An agent will get them in front of particular cameras so they can actually show their personality, you know, and just show off, like, you know, like we see like the Mayweathers, McGregor's, you know, lavish lifestyle, but it's like they've got an avenue to show their personality.
So outside fighting, so it's all about, life is all about balance now, isn't it? So you train. What else do you do? Do you have a day job? Do you know?
Yeah, I have a day job. Just have an office job. Day job. Like I said before, I used to run a cleaning business outside of it. So I kind of use the principles that I gathered from the business to apply to sort of Sunchai TV and how I, you know, put out the content, how I do the branding, you know, just how I do different things. It's just, you know, a lot of it's just principles that I learned from, you know, running a cleaning business. That I just kind of moved across to the fighting.
Yeah, cool. So, other than the future ambition to open up an ice cream parlour, what's the future for Tayo? What are you saying?
For me, just as a fighter, it's just to just enjoy this journey. To fight. At some point, it's going to come to an end.
But do you want to fight abroad? Sorry to cut you, but all your fights have been in the UK. Are you keen to fight overseas, or you're just not bothered?
Yeah, just wherever it comes. I'm not
wherever
really
comes.
Yeah, wherever it comes. Like I said, it's just to get to this point for me is, you know, I never would have thought I'd got to, you know, this far in the game. Like I said, you know, how many fights start, you know, like, to put in perspective, I started Muay Thai when I was 29. I had my first interclub when I was 30. I had my first C-class fight when I was 33.
Yeah.
You know, most fighters really have their first C-class fight at 33. It's just like, when you put into content, it's like, I'm just enjoying this journey. But for me, the end goal is literally to have, it's Sunchai TV. That's the end goal of everything, is to help promote. Because like I said, when I originally started, it was, I could sit down and complain about, this fight why aren't fighters in the UK getting pushed as much? Someone should do something about it. Where it's, well, you know, I mean, this might fail, you know, but it's the whole point of like, try something. Because I mean, as we're talking now, I'm sure there's people watching this who's saying, I like the format of their podcast, but I'm sure they should do it like this, or they should get X, Y, and Z person on there. Yeah. And then this might spawn off. You might see, as a result of this, in a year or 2 years' time, there might be another group of people who do a similar thing to what you're doing now. You might have moved on to something else, someone else, similar to what I'm doing now with Sunchai TV. I'm pretty sure someone's looking at it and saying, well, if I was him, I'll do X, Y, and Z. Or they're thinking, actually, you know what? I like what he's doing. He's onto something. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then they go off and they spin off and they do their thing. So I think with all different people doing different parts to help promote the sport, I think naturally it will come because this all I think it will naturally come together at some point.
So to an up and coming fighter, what are 3 pieces of advice that you would give?
Up and coming fighter.
Or anyone starting late.
Yeah.
Don't let that deter you from starting late.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Whatever I've done. I mean, last week I was teaching a beginners class and the guy was saying, I'm thinking about doing an inter club, but I don't know. I think I'm starting too late. I was like, how old? And he's had prior experience before. And he goes, how old are you? He was like, 34. And I was like, I had my first C-class fight and I'm 33. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, definitely don't. I mean, because not everyone wants to be a pro.
No.
I think we need to, some people just enjoy the sport.
Yeah.
Achievement for some people is just having an inter club.
Yeah.
Just to go through the stages of training, cutting weight. So I think for any fighter, regardless of your age, you're never too late. You can, whatever your goal is, just put time aside to it, and just dedicate the time that's needed. I say that. So for a complete novice, I'd say don't let age be a deterrent for him to train. Someone who's already currently fighting, I would say, start to see yourself as a business. Like, you've got a skill, you've got a talent. Start to see yourself as a business, whether that be, how you brand yourself or just how you present yourself to people. Definitely, I'd say if you've got people around you who run a business, just have a chat with them. Like, what kind of principles do you run in your business? And, and I think that's the main thing for people who are like established fighters is start to see yourself as a business. And then I think the third thing is enjoy the journey. I think that's the biggest thing, man. Like, enjoy the journey. It's going to be hard, but enjoy the journey.
I think that's what you definitely embody. So you just like, you don't care who you fight. You're doing it and just enjoying it, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's quite refreshing because everybody's like, I want this title, I want that title. You're like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't.
I mean, the titles are great, but it's like you're saying, it depends on what you, what you want from the sport. And for me, it's just like I said, tomorrow if I stop fighting, I can't be upset. Like I said, I've got the pictures, so I can check my kids. Like, I used to be a fighter. Look him, I was like, I was a fighter. Look at these pictures. I got some great pictures. From, definitely shout out to all the photographers that you go to shows. Definitely give them a massive shout out to them and all the sort of media teams that record the fights and take all the pictures and stuff. Because essentially, this is all memories, that they're creating, whether they know it or not. These are memories that in years to come we're gonna look back on and say, I used to be a fighter, and this is the sort of the pictures and the videos. For me, it's just a purist. Like, I'm just literally just having fun with it. I'm just I take it seriously because I think once you enter the ring, there's a seriousness to it. Like, you are fighting. A lot of people don't know when you fight. You do have to sign a waiver. So this isn't you're not gonna go in the ring like. So I don't want to fool anyone who's watching this that like you go in the ring and it's everyone's pals and we're just gonna hug and like it's gonna be a little soft.
Definitely not that.
Wartime.
It's Muay Thai, the slogan is you don't play Muay Thai.
It's a no joke.
Yeah, it's a serious sport, so you have to train. You have to give it the respect it's due.
Yeah.
Essentially, but yes, I'll give it the respect it's due, but at the same time,
embrace the process.
Yeah, enjoy the process. Like,
for sure.
So where can people find you? Like, tell us your handles if they want to feature.
At the minute, I'm only on Instagram. You can find me at Sunchai Official. Spelled SUNCHAIOFFICIAL. I repeat it again. That's Sunchai Official. On Instagram, spelled SUNCHAIOFFICIAL.
Yeah, man.
And would you encourage fighters to contact you if they want to feature on Sunchai TV, or no, you'll just get to them organically when you're ready?
Yeah, and I think it's because the idea is to build a platform.
Yeah.
So at the minute, the content I'm putting out is what people want to see. So that's going to draw people to the platform. The next thing I'm working on now is actually going out and interviewing fighters at their gyms or just. But the idea is to build the audience, and then have the fighters come aboard. Because if we're being honest, some people. If I ring or message a few fighters, they might ignore me.
Okay. So you heard it here first. If you're interested,
it's just it's like with anything in life. It's like some people will get on board once they see it up and running.
Yeah.
When you start off, I mean, like Sunchai TV, where it is today, is not where it was a year ago. And I was doing the same. If you scroll back through my page, what I'm doing now is exactly what I was doing a year ago.
Consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, but not a lot of people paid attention a year ago because of, you know, maybe I didn't have enough followers, or it sort of didn't understand it, or didn't really care for it. But you know, fast forward a year now, you know, people, oh yeah, I like that fight, or oh yeah, you know, I like this, like that fight, or like you mentioned Liam Harrison. So like with the Fight Friday, every now and then I do like what's called a flashback. So I do like an old, you know, fight. Like yesterday I did Liam Harrison versus Sing Dam. The week before I did Paulo da Silva versus Daniel McGowan. You know, these fights happened, you know, years ago.
Yeah.
But it's like this goes back to saying about the memories of, like, you see certain fights and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that fight. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That was a great point in my life, etc., etc. You bring back memories from the fight. So essentially, my idea is just to build a platform, and then, you know, fights come on board. And it's like, you know, to get to the point to where fights can say, hey, I've got a fight coming up in 4 weeks. Yeah. Where can I go? And I can say, like, okay, actually, you know, yeah, that looks great. That can go on my platform. Or, you know, if you've got training videos, you know what? Message Leapfrog Combat Sports. You know, he posts a lot of, you know, training videos of fighters. So it's like, that might be a better avenue if you're doing training videos. If you want to show fight footage, then yeah, Sunchai TV might be. Or actually, if you want to talk to people about what you're doing, what you're coming up, contact the people at Weigh In Podcast.
Cool.
You know.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
Yes, so thank you guys. Big up Sunchai.
Yes,
thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, man. Hit up is Sunchai Official. And where can we get the t-shirts from again? You got them on sale?
No, the t-shirts actually, season 2's over. Season 3 will be out next year.
Right, we'll hook us up with that as well.
2021?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2021.
That's a whole year.
That's a whole year.
Okay.
Yeah, I dropped season 1 and season 2 back to back. This year I want to take a year out.
Yeah.
Get a few more samples in.
Yeah, for sure.
And then come back better and better. Bigger and better in 2021.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm expecting a whole shop.
You won't get a whole shop, but you'll get a
whole shop. You're making me
but yeah,
if I'm waiting a year, I want a shop. Okay.
Straight up. And yeah, keep doing your thing. Like, I mean, the channel's great. Do you know what I mean? And again, great for me. I'm, you know, an outsider looking in for this. Yeah. You educate me on all the fighters, up and coming fighters. Like you said, your past fighters and stuff like that. So yeah, what you're doing is awesome, mate. So best of luck. Nice
actually, before I go, give a massive shout out to the whole team at Weigh In Podcast. That's people in front of the camera, people behind it. I think it's a great idea what you're doing.
Trying, bro.
So yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Trying. We're going at it.
Definitely loving the concept. So yeah, just more success and, you know, bigger guests. You know.
Yeah, let's do that thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Big up,
Thank
bro.
you very
Nice
much.
one. Safe.
Yes.